Hey everybody, welcome back. And on this video we are going to put hands on our little minion here. So hands are probably the hardest thing to do in 3D modeling with characters, maybe faces too, but on these minion characters definitely their hands are going to be the hardest. So first thing we need is our reference. So we're going to go up and create a new tab, go to Google and type in Minion, M-I-N-I-O-N, Minions, and let's go to images, and let's get a picture where we can see their hands closely. So this is a good one here. I'm going to go to view image. Just view image. So you can see they have one thumb and two fingers. So that definitely makes things a little easier for us. Their fingers are really short. So that kind of makes things a little easier. So let's get to making these guys. So go back and as you can see, I've created one hand. I just kind of want you to see what it looks like. This is roughly what we're going to be making. And I used two objects. I used on the number 3, the Bezier bean, and then I used the sphere. And the Bezier bean, it's a pretty neat little geometric object. It's basically bean shaped, and you can kind of control it. So we're going to use that to create the palm of his hand and then part of the fingers. Okay, so let's drag him over to get him out of the way. Alright, and I hit F to zoom in on it. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it, go edit, duplicate, and I'm going to move the duplicate forward, and then I'm going to shrink it down. So I'm going to select the corner, and I'm going to hold the shift button and click the left mouse button, and I'm going to push in, and that uniform scales the piece of geometry. Oops, a little too far. Okay, so that'll be a finger. This is going to be the palm of the hand. So the palm of their hands are pretty small, but they're wide. So let's squash this down a bit. Kind of like that. Maybe just, that's good. And then the next thing we're going to get is a sphere. Okay, so you're going to go to tab 11 under the shape generators community tab and high res sphere 2. I'll drag that out. And that's big. So let's shrink that guy down. So select the corner, hold the shift button, left mouse key, and let's just shrink it down. go. Get it down to, let's just do 4 for now. So let's just align these two with our line tool. So one thing about these bean pieces, they're a little heavy, and what I mean by that, they're processor or computationally intensive because of all the curves, most likely. So when you get a bunch of them in the scene, it slows down your Tinkercad a little bit. So just a warning. We're just going to work around that as best we can, because these are pretty much the ideal shape in order to get us close to what the Minion hands look like. It's not perfect, but it's probably the closest thing we'll have. So anyway, back to this. We're going to take the sphere and let's just select them both, and let's go to adjust, align, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna hit F to frame. So let's I'm going to use the right arrow key. I'm just going to move that back a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is create the fingertip. If you look at, see their tips of their fingers are really big and round, and that's a very cartoonish style that they use to make characters more appealing. Short, thick, and stubby. So we'll use a sphere to kind of give that thickness to his fingertip. It's probably a little too big, but we might be able to stretch this down a little bit. And do the same at the top. And let's just kind of tap that in a little bit, and then let's squash the finger a little bit. It's a little too much, so we can use our snap grid, and let's change that to 0.25. Gives us a little finer control. Just pull it up just a little bit. So sometimes the graphics card will have a problem with something, and it'll give you this warning down at the left-hand bottom. A problem occurred while trying to combine grouped shapes. Please try to group shapes in different order. So as you can see, it pops back a lot of times if you select something else. So just something to kind of be mindful of, and there's ways getting around it. Like I said, you either select something else and move around and it pops back on, or close the Tinkercad file and then reopen it, and that sometimes solves it too. Okay, oh, that's pretty close. I think I could just shrink the finger in a little bit. So let's just, yeah, I think that works better. And maybe just tap it with the right key. Let me go. Since these fingers aren't going to be animated, you're not going to really see them up close because they're going to print. You know, the idea is we want to make these 3D printable, so we're trying to get close, but with the tools that we have, but we want this more to be printable, so they don't have to be absolutely perfect. All right, I'm just going to tap that out a little bit so that purple part doesn't pop out. So I'm going to switch to 0.1 and use the left arrow key. There. Great. And then once we turn it to one color, let's go to black. And yeah, that looks and feels a lot better. Okay, so we have a finger, and we can use that to create the other finger and the thumb. So I want to flatten this hand a little bit out. And would like to also put a sphere in the middle of this as well, because there's a big space in the middle of it, and that could cause some printing problems. So by putting a sphere in the middle of it, we're basically adding thickness and kind of help solve that problem. So let's select them both, and then let's use adjust, align. Whoa. Let's do that again. Adjust, align. And let's line it in the middle. Okay. Click away. So we can flatten the sphere. That'll definitely help. And we can do the same from this side. And then we can just pull it forward. And we can stretch it. Further forward. Just a little bit in. So that just gives it a little more thickness there. And you can kind of see if we select that and turn it, make it clear. See that space right there? 3D printers will not like that. So actually might stretch this out a little bit just to fill that up. There we go. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, that'll be good. You're not going to really see that part. It's going to be pretty small. Alright. Now switch it to black. Okay, so we have the palm of our hand and we have a finger. So in the next video we'll put this together to create the hand. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe.